And we are back in the building, back with some more boxing. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and all that good stuff. Now, guys, once again, we're talking about Shakur Stevenson, who had a fight this past Thursday night against a very tough competitor in Edwin De Los Santos. Now, even though Shakur Stevenson won the fight, it was a lackluster fight in a lot of people's eyes. Definitely wasn't his best performance. And since that performance, you know, he's been taking a lot of heat from fans, from peers. It's just been a lot of piling on. Guys, of course, like Ryan Garcia, Devin the Dream Haney. I think I even heard Rolly say something about it. And now, Frank Martin pops up out of nowhere and tweets out, you know, a plate with, I think it was a knife and fork, implying that Shakur Stevenson is food now. Now, we remember the build up to those two fighting and how Frank pulled out of the fight, and a lot of people implied that Frank Martin ducked the fight, including myself. But I don't want to focus too much on Frank Martin ducking that fight. I want to talk about the nuances of fighters and the things that they deal with after a bad performance, and how, you know, we as fans respond to it, and how their peers respond to it, and how, you know, it can be hurtful, but it also can be a helpful thing, in my humble opinion. Everything's just not cut black and white. I know a lot of times on the boxing channels here, you know, it's either one way or another way. You know, people are expecting you to take sides and things like that. But life doesn't really work that way. So I want to delve a little bit more deep, and like I said, into the human aspect of, you know, what fighters go through. Now, before I do that, I want to read this tweet from Clarissa Shields. She did this after the fight. Let me pull it up here, guys. Okay, so she says here, and I quote, "Every night's not going to be a superhuman night. Boxing fans so wishy-washy is sickening." So she's referring to, you know, the criticism of Shakur Stevenson, you know, and that's going to come with the territory. The criticism when you don't perform well, when you have this hype behind you, and people are making memes and things like that. And oftentimes we hear when this stuff happens with fighters is that they say that they don't care about that. You know, they pretend, I would say, that, you know, it doesn't bother them. But let's be real. Fighters are human beings just like the rest of us. And when they hear derogatory things about themselves, of course, it's going to make them feel some type of way. Maybe even hurt their feelings. But, you know, they have to put up this persona like they don't care what the fans are saying. But they do care what the fans are saying. And a lot of times, of course, fans can be harsh. You know, I get it from both points of view. Fans want to, you know, be entertained when they see these fights. And fighters who put in a lot of time and a lot of hard work into their craft, they want to be respected by the fans and their peers. Now, I will say this, when it comes to your peers as a fighter, of course, you know, they're going to pile on. You know, it's expected because all these guys are fighting for that brass ring. You know, they want to be seen as the best. They want to be the cash cow of boxing. They want to be the one that everybody's talking about. When it comes to the fans, that's just something that comes with the territory. People are going to criticize you, even outside of boxing. You know, in life, people are always going to criticize you. People are always going to have something to say about you, regardless of if it's good or bad. But here's the thing about that. You know, a lot of times we just look at it as a bad thing. But I think a fighter going through something like what Shakur Stevenson is going through, I think it can be a good thing in a sense. I think it could be a thing where the fighter can reassess, you know, what he's doing as a fighter in the ring, help him in his mindset, work on new things, make him be honest with himself, basically. Look in the mirror and say, okay, what am I doing wrong here? What is it where I'm not connecting with the fans? What do I need to work on as a fighter to improve myself, to put myself in a better position? And then a lot of times you'll have things where it doesn't seem like a blessing in disguise, but it actually is. And I would say that tweet coming from Frank the Ghost Martin actually can be a blessing in disguise for both of the guys. Frank Martin was criticized for ducking the fight. Shakur Stevenson was criticized for having a bad performance. If these guys want to, revive their image, why not fight each other? I think that could only help both fighters here in this situation. It's almost like a blessing in disguise if you stop and look at it. Because regardless of the fact, people are going to pile on. People are going to judge you by what you did last. Even though it's not fair, we've seen Shakur Stevenson do some phenomenal things in the ring. We've seen him have some duds in the ring. People are going to judge you by the last thing you have done. So I think this is a great opportunity for both fighters to put themselves in a better light. I would say that. But I just wanted to delve into, just the nuances of boxing, something a little different for you guys, because, it's either cut dry one way or another a lot of times in our space. And life is more complex than that. These guys are more complex than just getting in the ring and throwing punches at each other. They're human beings. They have feelings. They have emotions. They go through things, trials and tribulations like the rest of us do. But sometimes we seem to forget that. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about what I had to say. Do you think that could be, that's a blessing in disguise? Frank Martin coming up at Shakur Stevenson. Maybe these two guys can put a fight together and make their, image look better. You guys let me know how you feel about that in the comment section. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.